They tell me you're a man with true grit.
What do you want, girl? Speak up at supper time.
Welcome to the True Grit Podcast, where we discuss the grit of life and dirt track racing. Check us out on Facebook at Done Right TV or go to www.DoneRightTV for all your racing action done by the friends here at Done Right. So I am your host, Shane Davis, former IMCA Modified National Champion, and I got a couple of great guests tonight. My old friend Casey Schram. How you doing, Casey?
Good. Glad to be here.
All right. And Dustin, man, you moved up to late model, and you're looking pretty good early on. You're supposed to struggle when you start out and not start out getting top 10s, top 5s, but are you happy with the switch?
Yeah, I'm super happy with it. It's something different, you know.
Sure.
The sport mods are fun. We had a lot of success, but it was time to move on and try something new, and IMCA mods didn't intrigue me any. So.
All right. Hey, make sure you like and share this show. Share it with all the friends you can. It helps keep us on the air, and we are delighted you're here with us tonight. So here we go, West Liberty Raceway Saturday night. We got rained out Friday at Davenport. West Liberty, great show. We had the Airs class up there, 22 Airs cars, 7 different lead changes in the feature event. And, man, looked like Bart Montgomery was going to pick off his first feature, winning that number 32 look-alike of his dad, Dean Montgomery, but ended up punching the fence with 4 laps left to go. And, man, that turn 3 and 4 up there at Liberty, if you get into that wall, you're in trouble. So R.J. Light come back in that car of his. Parked her down in Victory Lane. When was the last time you seen a Ford Edsel picking up a feature win?
Yeah.
Just a great night of racing. Intermission, boy, they're doing a lot of great things out there at Liberty. They had a little racer, Chuck-a-Duck. They gave away 4 tickets to Lost Island Water Park, $160 value. Put the target right in the middle like they used to do at the Mallard games. And you just pay $1 for a duck, chuck it, and try to get close to the target. So we gave those away. We gave away a lot of prizes to the kids. 4-cylinder class, Cody Staley picked off the win and put on a heck of a show. West Liberty Car Quest Auto Parts Hobby Stock, Ryan Havla, Lone Tree, Iowa, went 2 for 2, making it 2 in a row, picked off the win. Op Automotive Sport Mods, Ryan Walker, the number 9W, Wilton, Iowa. Had a nice battle going on with Levi Heath in the 9H car and Sean Slaughter, but Slaughter pulled off on the back stretch with about 3 to go with mechanical problems, and Ryan Walker brought home the win for that 9W team. Ag Services and Products stock car feature, Johnny Spa, the legend, number 00. Man, that guy started deep in the field, and you just know, look out for that purple car. He ended up coming up and picking up the win. It was kind of one of the first times I went through this in Victory Lane. I'm down there interviewing Johnny Spa, and he started had tears streaming down his face. His brother had a bad accident at work, ended up passing away, and so he had that on his mind. And we just want to say our thoughts and prayers from the show here go out to family and friends. That's a tough thing to deal with. And I'm blessed that I've still got my brother. I've lost 2 sisters, but great night for Johnny Spa, great win. Tough night of racing, though, for him. JR's Truck Repair, that would be the modified feature, the number 30M, McGuire DeYoung. That guy just moved into IMCA Modifieds from the Sport Mod class, and he's won 2 in a row out there at Liberty. So keep on doing what you're doing. You look great. Saturday, we'll talk a little bit about that. Dustin, you ended up taking that new late model down to Donaldson.
Yeah, first
How'd you
night,
like it?
It was pretty good, and I never raced down there. It was the first time I've ever turned any laps down there. So
Now, this time of the year, with all the rain we've had, the track probably had a little character. Right?
Yeah, you could miss them, though. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You could miss the holes.
Yeah. And you started where?
I drew the pole for my
Oh,
first.
my God. So you led a race for...
I led the first lap.
Yeah?
First late model featured, and I drew the pole and led the first lap, and then actually me and Chuck started right next to each other.
Oh, boy. How do you like that?
It was cool. It's his old car, and he's a good friend of mine, so it was kind of cool.
You
Pitted right next to each other.
Now, you got shuffled back to 5th at one point.
I did.
And then when the checkered flag flew, where were you at?
We
Dustin?
finished third.
Third. Man, that's a good first night behind the wheel of that car.
I'll take it.
Man, any day of the week.
Didn't tear nothing up. Learned a ton.
We'll East Moline, we'll give you a quick rundown of that stuff. IMCA Modifieds, Brandon Durbin picked up the win up there at the Rock Island County Fairgrounds. Travis Denning going for 2 nights in a row, ended up finishing second. Strong run for him. George Spence, the third generation race driver. Good run for him. Finished third place, the number 9 G car. Doug Linth fourth, and Mike Garland rounded out the top 5. Sport Mods, the number 88 Trey Grimm in that body shop special, picked off the win with Matt Spidell from Moline coming home second. Chuck Fox, our old buddy Chuck, Silvis, Illinois, third place. Good run.
He's getting it figured out.
He is. That was his second night this season racing, right?
Yep.
Okay. Good for you, Chuck. And then Jesse Bowden, Silvis, Illinois, got a little Jason Barr's help on that car and got her going pretty good. Josh Marth came all the way up from Tampico, Illinois, and he came home with a 5th. Then in the hobby stocks, it was a 2-car battle. Randy Lamar, Andrew Burke, but Birkenhead 77W picked off the win. In hobby stocks, street stocks, Joe Bonney from Akokata. That car's like 12 years old.
Gotta be.
It's got to be, Casey, and it shows you that you don't have to, some people got to have a new car every year.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you got the working out of everything you're trying to do.
For half the season.
Yeah, when you already got a car
What it
feels
does.
good.
Yeah.
And wins races.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Did a good job. So Bonnie picks up the win. Mod Light Division. R.J. Gonzalez from Kelowna picked off the win in the Mod Lights. And then Sport Compact, it was Kyle Hawkins from Bluegrass, Iowa. And he's got a nice season going already, too. So, hey, Wookie, let's pop up picture number 1. We're going to kind of take a look at when Dustin started out way back in 2004. We're out at Hawkeye Raceway, so if you see that Letterman bail bond sign in the background, you know that you're at Hawkeye Raceway. And I got to tell you, Casey, I love that track.
Yeah, I had fun there. I ran a lot of races there, won a championship there, and just the people that raced there, we always had a good time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and then I got both my sons right here.
Right.
That's my oldest son, Jordan, and he was running a sport, and I think he won that night.
Yeah.
And I think I ended up second, but we were trying to do a clearinghouse thing.
Crazy thing was, he went to college at Augustana College.
Yeah.
And I remember up at East Moline one night when he had somebody for the national anthem, and he brought his tuba.
Tuba, yeah.
And he played the national anthem on his tuba.
Yeah.
And he had the flying tuba on the back of the car.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was an all hand letter car that was done by a bunch, 6 or 7 very, very talented sign painters.
Yeah.
There was a little thing they had getting going, so they wanted us to bring our car, and each one of them took a shot at it,
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And Dustin, when we were looking at that go-kart, I remember you just as a real happy little kid. You had those glasses on.
Yeah.
Anytime you could talk to any driver, you'd come up and talk to me. You'd talk about anybody, and I thought, man, this kid loves racing. And so when you got into the go-karts out there, Bluegrass, it's amazing when I look at how many drivers came out of the go-karts at Bluegrass, the go-karts at, Mount Joy. Brian Harris was a go-kart racer. A lot of guys out there started out on those karts.
Yeah. Well, you got to have control. It's still you're still racing. You know what I mean? You're being competitive. You got speed. You know what I mean? You can make adjustments.
And so, at what point did you decide you want to go to Sport Mod?
Actually, we did some A-Mod stuff before that.
Okay.
We did a little bit of UMP stuff, and it wasn't working. We broke, I don't know how many motors.
I'd already worn out all the stuff.
Yeah.
I was running his motors that he already wore out 10 years before that.
Well, Hey, pop up number 2 there, Wookie. I want to look at this. I love this picture because, I got a lot of great memories from Hawkeye Raceway. Hey, if you get on Facebook, go to Hawkeye Raceway Memories. That's a page I got out there, and there's literally thousands of race pics from the years gone by out there at Hawkeye. But you look there on the left, you got Vern Schumann right there. Okay. Yep. And then that's Ronnie Whedon's grandson in the red shirt. And Dustin, you're ready to play in the NFL. You got the number 93 shirt on, buddy.
Yeah, I played some football back then, so I figured I might as well wear that there.
That's right. I loved it. Picture number 3, Wook. You, Casey, still living up in Sterling, Illinois.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
TVM on the front of the car. That was pretty amazing that you had those Thunder Valley mods you're building.
Yeah.
And, it was a day when we had Dirt Works out there, Harris and Hoffman and, all these top brand race cars. And you're out there whooping on them with your Thunder Valley mod car.
Yeah, it made me pretty proud. You finished the end of the night, and whether we won or not, and of course that's why we were there. But
Yeah.
be third, but the only car of your make in the top 5.
Yeah.
You'd have 3 M&Ms or a Harris, and there was a ton of them.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to let you guys know, too, we're going to have some prize giveaways coming up here. We got T-shirts from, we got a Chuck Hanna autographed T-shirt. We got a couple of more Bone Larson championship shirts, and we got a couple of C&W trucking. So we want you to type in the message board what your answer is. The first thing I want to talk about is the American Iron Racing Series. They were up at West Liberty Saturday night, and I want to ask you, this is an heirs question, when was the first race that they ever ran, the American Iron Racing Series? What year and at what track was that at? And, hey, when we see a winner up here, we'll go ahead and let you know who you are, and make sure and type in what your answer is. And as soon as we get a winner, we'll let you know who you are, and you can pick up the lucky T-shirt, the first one being an autographed Chuck Hanna T-shirt, right over here at Dunright TV Studios. We're right here at 1414 West Locust Street, not too far from the racetrack. So let's put up picture number 4, where we're waiting for people to take a guess at what we got going on here. And
Oh boy.
there we go, Casey.
yeah.
Now, hey, look at those legs on Audra.
Yeah. They still look pretty good.
They do. I tell you what, she looks great.
Yeah.
And man, she must be drinking out of the fountain of youth or
Yeah,
something.
she don't live like I do.
Now, Casey, tell me, that was Wilmot Speedway.
Well, Wisconsin, yeah.
Yeah. And how did you like that track?
When me and my crew chief, my good buddy Brack, we first pulled into the place, he says, "My God, this is a football field."
Yep.
It was that flat.
Yep.
Yeah, but I went out for hot laps, and I think I spun out on the second lap.
Oh, are you kidding
And
me?
I come back in, and he's like, "Should we do anything?" And I'm like,
Lisa, you're getting close.
"Yeah, maybe I should try a little harder."
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
ended up, I think, second that night.
And that was Thunder Valley Mod.
Yeah, that was.
And was that a 3-link car then?
No, this was a 4-bar car.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this was a 4-bar car.
All right. Because you guys had those 3-link cars figured out.
Yeah, I did, and then we did some 4-bar Z-Link stuff for
Okay.
quite a bit. Yeah.
Tim Cronover, good guess. You guys, there we go. Teresa Lingle, it looks like. I'm going to write you down here real quick. 2016 Davenport Speedway. So you are the lucky winner of a Chuck Hanna autographed T-shirt. And I'm going to write that down real quick so I don't forget. Pick it up over here at the studio at 1414 West Locust in Davenport, Iowa. So we'll have some more giveaways here shortly. We got a couple of Bone Larson Championship T-shirts to give away from his 2021 IMCA Modified National Championship run. They are beautiful. And we got a couple of C&W trucking shirts, too. Here we go. Picture number 5. Let's take a look at that thing. There we go. Another Schram car. You know what, Casey? You had beautiful race cars.
Thank you.
I mean, you and Dustin both. You guys had some
Thank you.
good-looking
We,
cars.
we take a lot of pride in building them and keeping them that way through the season.
Right.
As long as you're 50 foot away, you don't see all the wrinkles. But we keep them, we try
That
to keep
look
them
good.
straight, yeah.
So now, Ray Cox Jr. ran one of your cars?
He didn't. Actually, he won the first night out in it
Yeah.
at Davenport, yeah. I
Yeah.
told him, he's like, well, it'll be fast. I'm like, it'll be fast.
Yeah.
I gave him a baseline setup that I knew would be drivable, and he went out and won.
Yeah, and the nice thing about that was, I mean, like we talked about, you're running against all these major manufacturers out there, and for you race fans that are watching tonight, you go, hey, what do you mean, Shane? Well, if you got a Harris car, and you got 50, 75, 100 cars out there that are Harris cars, all that information's getting fed back to you, and they'll tell you, hey, I tried this shock package on a quarter mile, and it worked well. I run the bars here. Maybe I got rid of that 4-link and I put a swing arm on it and it went faster. But with all that information coming back in, I mean, here's little old Casey in Sterling, Illinois,
Yeah.
and you didn't have 100 people calling you and telling you what was working.
And at that time, I really didn't even know many people that I could get really any information from other than a Dan Garland,
Yeah.
you know, because we were building some cars, and then I went off and built my own. But yeah, there wasn't much information going on. There was some weekends I would run 3 different suspensions.
And you know, Dan Garland, I mean, passed away recently, but that guy was a great guy, and he would help anybody on a race car.
Yes.
Yeah, and Mike Garland's still racing. I got Casey. How old's Mike now?
He's, I think, a little younger than I am. He's got to be close to 50.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
just talked to him last night and gave him my condolences.
Yeah.
You know, for his father.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know. You know, I'll be 63 in June.
Yeah.
And I look at a lot of these guys that have been around racing a long time, like you and
Yeah.
I think, my God, that's something else. So let's look at picture number 8 here, Wook. Another one out at the good old Hawkeye Raceway.
Yeah, that was championship year. That might have.
That was 04.
Yeah, that was 04.
That was first night out.
Yeah.
I think that was the first night in that car.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
So, Casey, where'd 92 come from?
Actually, it's a weird deal. Everybody thinks it was. I got married in '91. He was born in '92.
Oh,
So everybody thinks that's what it is, but it's not. It's my 2 sons, me and my wife, the months we were born in and the days we were born on, added together.
All right.
That's where it came about.
That's where it came about. Man, that's kind of been a iconic number in Open Wheel Modified and when
Yep.
you're running Sport Mod
Yeah.
because, you know, it's been around forever.
Yeah, it's totally run.
Hey, we got a Bone Larson shirt we're going to give away, and so we are going to ask you fans out there, what year and what track was the first feature win for Casey Schram in a TVM modified? So I need the year and the racetrack for a Bone Larson T-shirt. And we one of the best looking cars that I liked. Hey, I want to take a look at picture 10 there anyway. This is what racing's all about. There you go.
Yeah.
Big old toes.
Yeah, there was a few of them nights. Hey, look, I was a little thin.
Casey, were you like 16 in that picture?
Yeah, it looks like it, don't it?
And hair.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that was the championship banquet at. We won the championship in 2004 also.
And that's what it was.
And I think that's where that picture.
That's what it was. 2004 banquet. Now I can't see who you're toasting with, but
This is my buddy, my crew chief Brack. This I don't know, and I didn't. I'm sure they were all friends.
yeah, yeah.
Or we were at the end of the night.
Now let's see. We got Ron Anderson up there. Ron Anderson commented, Ron Marks Jr. wanted the new car. I told him, tried and true is better than brand new. So
There was a lot to be said.
a lot to be said about that. Carl Thompson, good guess on there. We're still looking for first feature win for Casey, the year, and the racetrack. So keep on guessing for that brand new Bone Larson T-shirt. Now we're going to look at picture number 12. And this was probably, Casey, my favorite paint job you had. Here's why. You know, today they do all the wraps, the stickers,
Yeah,
the splash, and all that stuff. And I always liked a car with a big number, and I liked it plain. That car was airbrushed.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and hand painted.
Hand-painted, yeah. Who did that? Do you remember the guy?
Millersville.
Easterbrooks.
Dana Easterbrook did
all right.
that car for us. But and as you can tell, if you know anything about John Morley painting,
Yeah,
that car's got a lot of characteristics
Oh,
because he
man.
learned from John Morley.
yeah.
So yeah. I still love that stuff, and that's kind of why we went back to what we're doing with our late model.
Yeah,
You know, instead of all the graphics and the wraps and
yeah.
just doing the nice clean look.
Because, you know, when I look at your late model, as soon as I seen that, Dustin, I love the car. Again, big numbers on that car.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see any gray cars out there. And so that was unique that, you know, it's got that charcoal gray color
Yep.
to it. And, you know, and the simplicity of it. You don't have a lot of splash and a lot of stuff on there. And I got to tell you, you know, when I'm up there in the booth looking at some of them cars, I have a hard time reading a sponsor or reading
Sure.
anything because it's just so busy.
Yeah.
So, okay. Lisa, you have got the track right. Now you guys got to start guessing what year. 89 is a good year. Carl Thompson, you're doing good with the year, but you got to get a little closer. And like I say, free Bone Larson National Championship T-shirt.
I know the answer. I'd like to have that shirt.
Casey, you cannot have that shirt. You, Audra,
I know.
you are.
Jeff will make me pay for one.
No, that's right. And you guys are getting closer. Hey, picture 13, Wookie. I want to take a look at this. Here's another legend around the racing circles, Doug Hack.
Oh, yeah.
And, I got to tell you, I always used to love it. It said financial management by Audra on the quarter panel.
Yeah.
And I knew how true that was.
Yeah.
And then Doug Hack, here we are. We're a lot younger back then.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm starting to lose some hair, though.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a little later on, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So what year would that have been, and where was that track at, Casey?
That was East Moline in 95 or
Okay.
6. It was a Deary Brothers race.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ron Anderson, you guys have got Bluegrass correct. You're still working on the year. Somebody's going to hit that sooner or later. I'm looking up on the board. And now we're getting into the 90s, so you're heading the right direction. And we got another picture here. That would be picture 14. Take a look at that. That one, there we are out at the old Hawkeye race.
Yeah.
right now.
Look how that's at one of them day races.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Afternoon, boy, that fall
Yeah.
series they used to run out there.
Oh, yeah.
91, 92, you guys are getting hot.
Yeah. It was, it's my good buddy Brad Sterling there.
Yeah.
And, it was one of them. It blacked off and the dust blew off.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad. I went back the next week.
Yep.
And I think I was running like in the top 5, and I pulled off
Bryce,
because
you're
I couldn't
close.
see.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. It was dangerous like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Teresa, you're getting close. Keep on guessing. You're going to have, there you go. Sherry Brenner, 1995.
Way to go.
Sherry, you get a Bone Larson National Championship T-shirt. So I'm going to put Sherry Brenner down. Sherry, on your way to the racetrack, if you guys get over this way before 5 o'clock when we close, just stop over here at Dunright TV. And we are at 1414 West Locust. If you get to the bar with the Dale Earnhardt car on it, you're one block too far. Look for the Dittmer's gas station. We're in the strip mall right next to that. So, Sherry, you got you a brand new Bone Larson T-shirt.
Hey, Sherry, get that in 3X, will you?
Hey, so picture number 15, Wookie. Here, now we're getting into Dustin. Here we are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, again, you guys always had good-looking cars, and always like, the 92's easy to read. Was that a 3-bar car?
Yep.
Or,
That was
okay.
the first new car that we built in probably 10 years.
10 years.
Like
Yeah.
we kind of slowed down on the race and it kind of just got out for a little bit.
Okay.
And then that was the first new one that nobody knew we were building until we built it.
All right. So then Beham lettered that thing, and he always does a wonderful
Yep,
job
yep.
lettering race cars. How do you like that? Sherry Brenner says, Chunky Dunk. With them hearts, I like that.
She's a good friend, too.
Yeah. Now, that's got to be her referring to you there, Dustin.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Chunky Dunk.
Oh, yeah. She,
Hey, Christian Baldock, he powder
He
coated
did.
that car.
Yes,
He
he did.
did.
Yeah.
Man,
yep.
Yeah.
ain't that something?
Yeah, he
A lot of
did an
history on
excellent
that.
job.
And, then nobody was doing white cars.
That's right.
Yeah, white on white, yeah.
All white, which it looks really good,
Yep.
but it sucks to keep clean.
Oh,
But
man.
I sacrificed a little bit of effort for the coolness.
Yeah. So, hey, I want to take a look at the new car, picture number 16 there, Wookie. We'll take a look at that IMCA late model now. Now, that car, it's just, like I say, simple. You can read all the sponsors. Big number. I love big numbers. And, man, you get third opening night out. You got to take that. That had to really kind of boost your ego a little bit.
It was a definitely confidence builder.
Yeah.
Racing with guys that have been racing late models for, most of the guys been racing for 10, 20, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you're out there with Gary
Yeah,
Ward,
yeah.
you know.
Jay Johnson.
Gary's like 100 years old now. And he's
Oh,
still racing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he's still fast.
Still fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you had a hell of a battle with him out there.
Yeah.
So, Casey, who was somebody that you really looked up to in racing when you were coming along?
I said earlier, I really didn't have a lot of people I knew. I had moved to, I grew up in the Quad Cities.
Yep.
And,
Good old Rock Island.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I knew like Rick Wages and Randy Wages and Casey Wages. And I did a little racing with them, asked them if they'd tell me the truth or not. I wasn't sure sometimes. But then I ended up moving to Sterling earlier on for the company I work for and get that area going. And so I was kind of all lonesome, you know. And but just looked up to as like a hero would be Gary Webb.
Yeah.
You know, Pete Jackson, guys like that. Ronnie Whedon, of course.
Sure.
You know, they were. And my dad. My dad was always involved in racing. One way or another, he never raced, but it seemed like we were always at a racetrack.
Always at a racetrack.
He was always he ran around with Leroy for years.
Yeah.
Runner helping him.
Yeah.
Sure. So the late model, what was it like getting in the late model? What was different than the sport mod or the UMP mod that you had?
Biggest thing, honestly, was the brakes and the rack. For me, it's got brakes for days.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know it had a right front shutoff till Saturday night when
Till
I
you
asked
found it,
Chuck.
huh?
I asked Chuck, I'm like, I know it's in there, but which switch one's it? I just, we've been running full brake the whole time. You know, we had 2 practice sessions.
Sure.
And we went to Davenport, and I got happy with adjustments for a heat race, and sucked.
Yeah.
So I went back to the baseline, and
Sure.
that's what we took down to Donaldson, and it was good. We made a few changes for the feature, and we ran good.
So what was your best racing memory, Casey, for you?
It was always racing with my family, no matter where I was. You know?
All right.
Because that's something we always did. You know, we all traveled together and
Travel together. You
and
got the big rig. Audra's in the big rig. You're in it.
But I
with the
think
whole family.
For me, there'd be a couple of them. It'd be Jordan's first feature win.
Sure.
And his.
Yeah.
You know, his first feature win was crazy.
Hey, we got another T-shirt to give away. This time we want to know, when was Dustin's first feature win and where? What racetrack and what year was that? And just type your answers right in the message board. And we're going to have one lucky winner giving away that second Bone Larson National Championship T-shirt. And let's see. So we'll go back to the questions now. What was your greatest memory, Dustin, in racing so far?
Of me racing, or just being or
you
running
know, being
around
at the racetrack with Dad? Your
running
memory?
around,
I mean,
running around the countryside with him. Man, there's a lot of them. Honestly, there really is.
Yeah.
Probably 04 when he won the championship at East Moline.
All right.
Honestly,
I mean, the one thing about it was there was one time that 3 out of 5 years we had the national championship or national champion in IMCA come out of East Moline.
Yeah.
So, I always said, man, if you can go up there and you can run the bull ring, you can go anywhere.
I've always said that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some of the best racers in the country that come out of this area.
Right. I mean, you look at Ray Bollinger. I mean, he goes down, he wins Dirt in November down.
Yeah.
And, this is a guy who cut his teeth up there at East Moline.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's been a ton of guys that have cut their teeth at East Moline.
Ken Wallace, Ken Schrader, them guys, regulars over the years up there, and just put on a heck of a show. So you've been around racing a long time, Casey. So you guys, how does the cost of racing back in, the years when you started out, the 90s, compared to today's cost of racing? How does that compare? Does it make it harder for you to field a race car, or what do you think?
Well, for me, I always did a lot of stuff myself, and that was the only way I was going to be able to compete with these guys. So I would say it's not really that far off, because we only made a certain amount of money back then, and it cost a certain amount then. Now you make a little more, but you spend a little more. But the only thing that kind of irritates me is the payoffs are still about the same.
Yeah.
They don't go up. The hot dogs go up, pit passes go up, but the purse doesn't.
Here's the funny thing now. Like in '87, when I won a national title, we had $3,500 in our car turnkey, and like you, Casey, we built. I mean, we jigged up the frame. We did everything ourselves. Built our own control arms, all that.
Yep.
So we go opening night. They had national up at East Moline Sunday night. First IMCA national, 1,000 to win. We win that thing. Tuesday we go to Princeton, Illinois, and I pass Bob Pierce on the white flag, pick off the win, $1,000. Wednesday we're at Knox County Raceway, and they had 1,000 to win IMCA National Series race, and that was like the old Deary Series for late models.
Yeah.
So we go down there and we win that race. $1,000 to win. So now I've won $3,000 in the first week of racing, and our car's almost paid off.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
man.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, like I
so-
said, things as far as parts and what you're buying to go racing, it's kind of went with everything else.
Well,
You're getting better and nicer stuff now.
Yeah, you're getting a
you
lot
know,
nicer.
back then everybody built their own stuff too.
Yeah.
You didn't have guys out buying $40,000 rollers.
No,
You know what I mean?
built your
They-
own motor,
You build everything.
build
Yeah.
everything.
And that helped with the cost of keeping everything down, and that's why we still do it that way. Like this new late model's the first car that I've been in that we didn't build.
Hey, Bryce Swanson, you won that T-shirt from Bone Larson. You got it right. 2016 Sport Mod feature win down at Peoria Speedway. So we'll give away more prizes. Stay tuned in, and we'll give you more questions to answer. You can pick up that T-shirt at 1414 West Locust Street over here in Davenport, Iowa. We're right next to Dittmer's gas station, across from the old Reefy's restaurant, if anybody remembers that place. And if you run into the tavern with the Dale Earnhardt car hanging off the side of the building, you went too far. So, did Casey ever have a bad accident? Carl Thompson wants to know, Casey.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've had a couple of them. One night up at Pecatonica, really fast, 5/8,
Oh, boy.
fast track, and they had a little series going up there, and I was leading that pointing at that time. At 5 races, I think I had 4 seconds and then a wreck.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got some cars wrecked in front of me, and I got on the brake pedal to slow down and get stopped. This is probably mid straightaway.
Yeah.
I mean, we're hauling it, and the brake pedal broke.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so there's a guy turned backwards in front of me.
Yeah.
I'm coming at the rest of the track is blocked, so I was
Okay.
going to drive it in the wall.
Yeah.
Well, I ended up catching his nose and launched, peeled his roof off, took out some fence and a caution light, and ended up
Wow.
on my roof. Yeah.
Didn't get hurt.
No, didn't get hurt.
Thank you,
No,
God.
no.
I don't know.
What about you, Dustin? Bad wrecks?
Yeah. We rolled down once at Peoria, but that was kind of soft. The hardest one, it's hard. It was at Davenport one. I pounded the fence on the half mile.
Yeah.
And then one night on the small track, they stacked up in front of me, and I had it wound down and missed, and I just got waylaid.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
bad.
man.
Yeah.
You know, that car, that was 17, I think.
Yep.
Brand new car. It only had like 10,
Oh,
only had
my
like
God.
10 nights on it.
All
you
right.
know.
You're fired.
Well, I had it. What do you do, man?
Yeah.
Some guys just
I
don't.
know. You know,
I-
it's.
Yeah.
I tell people, this stuff happens in milliseconds. I mean, I remember one time, I got a bad wreck, and I got my scar on my wrist. I had a compound fracture on my right wrist. Guy hit the wall, spun down in front of me, and I'm coming up to lap him.
Yep.
And I was going to say a 4-letter word, and I didn't even get the first letter out of my mouth.
Yeah, and it's already
And I'm in the guy, and 2 broken wrists. So, hey, Slim Roberts, what does Dustin think about crate motors? Is that a good or a bad question?
Well, everybody knows me. I hate them. I despise them.
All right.
Real race cars don't have crate motors.
But do you have a crate motor in late
No,
model?
I'll quit racing.
You actually have a 358 spec motor.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll quit racing.
All right. We build them for a lot of years,
we build
man.
them, and
And
we build all our own stuff. We build all
Yeah.
our own motors. When these crate deals come in, what really burns me is they can't be cheated. Well, that's a lie.
well,
Anything
here's-
can be cheated with enough money.
I'm not going to get into who and when and where, but we'll talk about that after the show. You are right about that, and I think IMCA is doing the best job they can at trying to keep a lid on it. But yet, when when I'm out there announcing, I see a couple of mods come off the turn, and they're both running 604 crates, and one smells a little funny, and he's pulling the guy by
Yeah.
5 car lengths.
That's nitro.
Okay, yeah, and I've smelled it at the racetrack. Smelled it last year, and
smelled it for years.
yeah, and so I gotta say,
Nitro and alcohol, they've been doing that for a long time, and there's a fine line of too much and not enough.
I guess if I had to say anything about if you even care, but
yeah,
of the crate motor is they don't tech them evenly.
Yeah.
They don't. We get almost gang raped.
yeah,
Through
All
tech. I'm not kidding.
Oh, we have. It's
Oh,
been
I'm not
bad,
kidding,
man.
man.
It's bad.
yeah,
But then one night up there, I'm not even gonna say names or where it was. We get pulled in. We win. Top 4 of us. we're the only open motor in the top 5.
Okay.
Pull your carburetor.
All right.
And I'm like, is everybody else pulling their carburetor? No, it's just you.
Just you.
Well, they don't have an open carburetor rule,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I threw a big enough stink. They made them all pull it.
So here's what happened. Old Jeff Morris, you know, they're running their own motors.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, back then in the A-mods, they're going through about $30,000 a year. And, you know, they're buying, back then, you know, they were related to Gustav. So they're getting Gustav motors. He's going through about $30,000 a year. He said, I own my own company. You know, $30,000's a lot of money, but yeah, it's affordable for us. But when they stuck that 604 crate in, they got like 70 nights out of that motor before she started blowing the blues, and they sold it. But he said, what was good for me owning my own business, I didn't have the time to work on the cars as much as I used to, and that eliminated one thing that I had to deal with was the crate. But, you know, when you bought the crate motor, you had to get the, you know, the crate fan, crate headers,
the
crate
lightweight,
distributor,
low drag.
Yeah, the
all
money
the-
adds up. We were just talking to this weekend, and he priced out a new 604.
Yeah.
You know, dyno with the distributor and everything, $8,700.
Yeah.
Well, I guarantee you, I can build that late model motor we're running.
Yeah.
Well,
that.
$8,700.
that motor we got in the car we bought, it's got 6 nights on it from Carl's.
Okay.
Paid $4,800 for it, and it came with everything but a
Are
carburetor.
you kidding
It
me?
was
Smoking, dude was laid off from John Deere, needed some money, and I had a wad of cash.
Yeah, and
You
I
know
drove
what?
to Independence and got it.
You know, and you know, you don't find deals like that every day,
Yeah.
but when you do, you jump on them.
Hey, so Gene Matthews Richmond says, hey, what about your loss at La Salle, Peru, the Heartbreaker?
Yeah, that
The
one.
$3,000.
It still stings a little.
$3,000 to win. Tell me a little bit about it.
3,000 to win.
Yeah.
So I think started on the front row.
Okay.
Soppy took off. It was 30-lap race, and Soppy's a stomping. It was black slick.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'm going to save my stuff. And I don't know, we got about halfway, and I grabbed some more front brake and tracked him down. He had probably almost a straightaway on me at one time.
Okay.
Tracked him down about 3 laps and went by. Well, after he tried to stick me in the tractor tire, but
Yeah.
it didn't work for him.
Yeah.
And we one to go.
One to go.
Hit lap traffic, and I wasn't experienced enough in lap traffic, and I suckered myself and pinned myself in between, screwed myself, and got stuck behind the lap car, and then Bloom went by me on the top and beat me to the line by 6-8 inches maybe.
Come on.
Yeah, it sucked.
And so, you know, those are things you have nightmares about.
I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went down there the next special they had and we won it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It worked out pretty
Yeah,
good.
right. You know,
I told him you'll remember
learn.
that lesson, right?
You really will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those
Yeah.
things, they
in
haunt you.
the lap car was somebody we had loaned a radiator to so
Oh,
they could
great.
start the feature.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
more
Hey,
radiators.
that's, you know,
Yeah.
that's how we are.
But
you know.
You know, you're old school, Casey, and I remember back in the day, you know, and that's something that may have changed a little bit in racing too. When I got out in 2000, you know, if I come over to you and said, "Hey, I need some valve cover gaskets for a small block," you're like, "Hey, here you go. Give them
Yep.
back when you get them back."
Yeah, absolutely.
We did that. You know, there isn't that
Stingy,
going on
selfish.
as much.
If
yeah,
I don't
today.
give you a part, well, hopefully you won't be able to race. And
Yeah.
That's better for me.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm still the same old school.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see what else do we got here. Let's see, restream. Oh, hey, Sherry Brenner says you can get her T-shirt. So you're ready for that. So we've got another question coming around. Let's see.
Thanks, Sherry.
We've already got that one. Okay, here we go. Giving away another T-shirt. This is going to be a C&W Trucking black T-shirt. So here we go. First feature race win in the American Iron Racing Series. Now, he was running up at West Liberty Saturday night, and he was driving a car, not necessarily an Ayers car, but he was up there. Who won the first feature race in the American Iron Racing Series? And give me the driver name, and you get you a free T-shirt. So I want to talk to you about tires this year. Everybody's screaming about tires, and you know, you can't find any modified tires. You can't find late models. Are you okay on tires, Dustin?
We could always use fresh tires.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
I just bought 3 of them a week ago.
All right.
You know, $225 a piece.
Okay.
That stings a little bit when you buy them.
Oh yeah, my God.
Oh, and we can't do nothing to them with IMCA. You just buff them. That's it.
With the late model tires.
Late
Yeah,
models,
you
right?
can't do nothing to them. You know.
Now, Casey, what were tires running back in the day when we started out?
Well, I thought they were stupid expensive back then too.
Yeah,
but,
they were.
But I think it was $50, $55.
$50, 55.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
You know,
Get a wheel for 20.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that was
them old ugly white wheels.
Oh man.
Them old, tell you what, when we were even doing the sport mod stuff, Bart wheels came back around.
Yeah.
I was buying Bart wheels for $45 a piece.
Yeah.
They were great for Peoria and East Moline because
They were heavy.
they were heavy.
Yeah.
And they would take a beating, and
Yeah.
I could bust a tire down, take a crescent wrench to it, and straighten it back out and put it back on, and it wouldn't leak a drop.
Now, you guys, you know, we ran down there. You talked about wages. Wages went down there. Mike Cothran, a lot of us would go down there, and we'd run Peoria, John Durbin. And the Peoria guys hated us. We'd go down there.
They still do.
They just hate you.
Yeah.
And we'd go down there and take their money.
Yes. We did it for a couple, 3 years down there.
Yes. I mean, I remember going down there and watching you. And Dustin, you just amazed me because, you know, I still remember this little kid in glasses, you know, running up talking to me. And now you're a grown man and you're out there, you know, really a premier driver and getting it done. And it just, and then putting the whooping on all them Peoria boys. I know they're just crying all the way home.
Well, what really burned them is, you know, we took our IMCA Sport Mod down there, and then we're UMP B mods, and then we're all 4-bar cars with quick changes.
Come on, man.
No, it was.
And
They
put
were.
it on them.
Full 4-bar, quick changes, the Falcon, you know, and
Yeah.
all they had was a cubic inch rule, no compression rule.
Wow.
So we take our 360 9-to-1 down there, and that
With
place
the Saginaw and a triple disc.
yeah,
Yeah.
and a 9-inch
Yeah.
with springs on top of the housing, you know.
But when that thing goes black
Oh,
slack, baby.
see ya,
it was
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could find out who the real drivers are. So anyway, Terry Ryan, good guess, Carl. I'm going to give you his initials, DK. Think of the Ayers drivers, DK. And let's see. So, who's the cleanest driver you ever raced with, Dustin?
Ooh. There's been a lot of not so clean ones.
I know. That's why I give you the tough question.
The harder,
harder
question.
You know, we had guys out running with us, Casey.
Yes.
That, you know, one of the guys, Doug Crampton, a lot of nights, John Bull, you know, they'd unload that car, and when they'd load it back up the bull ring, those things, you know, they looked the way they looked when they pulled them out of the trailer.
Yeah.
They'd race you clean. So those would be two names that would come to mind for me back in the day.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
So now, do you have anybody like that the last 5 years that?
And it's hard with the sport mod stuff because them guys are pretty gougy. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. They called me gougy too, so I guess it's okay. You know, I was aggressive. I'm here to win. I'm not here to make friends. You know, I don't know. Probably, you know, when we were doing some A-mod stuff, honestly, would probably be Ryan Dolan.
All right. Hey, we got two winners there right together. Lisa Benningfield and Dusty Patterson. Dan Kessler is the name. So, Lisa, we're going to put your name down. I don't know what size shirts these are, but they are here at the studio. And let's see, Lisa Benningfield and Dusty Patterson. You can stop by the studio. I'll get them marked before I leave tonight. And pick up your free T-shirt, 1414 West Kimberly. Get here before 5 o'clock and stop by the studio. Now, this week, I'll be honest, we've got all of our staff is at a convention out of town. It's basically, you know, Wookie here, you know, me, Kelly. I mean, we're just like a skeleton crew because everybody's out of town at a convention. So, you know, if you guys want to take Sherry's shirt along with you, you're welcome to it. Everybody else, you stop by the studio before 5 o'clock, 1414 West Locust Street. And we're right next to, you know, gas station. Boy, there I go.
Chinese restaurant.
All right,
next
yeah,
door.
Chinese restaurant out there, you know, in the strip mall, right across from Reefy's. And I did see somebody put up there, I loved Reefy's, and so did I.
Now Bryce is gonna pick up his shirt as well.
Yep.
All
yeah,
right.
Bryce,
Yeah,
he's a good friend of
Super
mine
good
too.
friend, yeah.
All right, so we got him there. So let's, racing superstitions. I mean, you know, we've been around a while, Casey.
Yes.
You and your son. Do you have any racing superstitions?
No.
All right.
I always put my left racing shoe on and my left glove first.
Ain't that crazy?
Just I don't know why.
Yeah.
Just I did it, and I think I run well one night, and I kept doing it till the end.
Yeah, and I do that. I don't know why. It's not a superstition thing to me. It's just something I've always done. Is the left glove and the left shoe. I don't.
Yeah, the peanuts in the green. I had a green emerald green chassis.
Eating
one
chicken
Yeah.
before you go racing.
Yeah.
I got a restaurant that's what they cook is chicken. So
Oh man, where's it at? I love
Sterling,
chicken. Sterling.
Down Seafood.
Hey, that used to be part of my territory.
Yeah,
I tell you
Don
what,
I'm telling you what.
we stop by, order it, pick it up. You know,
Yeah.
that's their sponsorship. Is when
Okay.
we're racing, I call and place an order, pick it up, and
Yeah.
we're headed down to Peoria or Davenport or Moline, and we're eating chicken.
We're eating chicken, man. That's awesome. Yeah, you get a lot of those guys. I mean, even me, I'm there at the front gate and get people to tell me, hey, I got so and so's got a birthday, and will you please mention it? There's drivers that will only draw out of the bag with their right hand or
Yep.
their left hand, and you talked about putting your gloves on like that, and it's funny how we are, but I remember. When I won a national title, we won like 13 features in a row in Peoria in '87.
Yeah,
And
and you didn't have to have chains and stuff to get out.
yeah, well, you know what? I did have one night. There was like 1,000 people named Struby down there
Oh
back in
yeah,
'87.
yeah,
So
Stroobies.
Chuck Struby, he's leading the feature in the 38 special. I'm going for win number 14. White flag comes out. I bop him. He just kind of went in a little soft. I was running the middle of the racetrack. He moved up to block. I give him a little love tap. He did one of those slow ride spins down the infield. Throw the caution, go back last completed lap, tell me you're kicked out for rough driving. So, man, I get up the pit area. The only guy I got in the pits with me that night's John Norton, and they're up there throttling him and working him over.
Yeah.
I pulled up behind the trailer. You already had ramps down, but I rev that baby up to about 7,500, and they scattered. I loaded it up. And
We had a couple nights to get
Yeah.
out like that. We were winning 5 in a row, 6 in a row. Get second one, and then go back and win 3 more in a row.
yeah, right. They didn't like it.
They hated it, and touched nobody.
They used to have cops on horses
Yeah.
in the pit area.
Yep.
So when you pull in a racetrack and they got
Yeah.
cops on horses.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
You better have your boxing gloves
Yeah.
on.
Sandusky.
they're pretty dedicated to their own people down
And Casey, we grew up in Rock Island, so you either
Yeah.
had to know how to run or fight. and I
there.
never did figure out how to run.
or just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Sandusky. He always told me going down to Peoria, man. He said it's a different breed down there.
It
I
is.
didn't believe him until we started going down there and racing.
Yeah,
I think there's something in the water down there.
yeah.
I do.
That there is, man. That was just a different world. And I remember there used to be a truck stop on the way back on 74, and now it's like a Love's truck stop.
Yeah,
It used to be a
yeah.
real truck stop.
Right.
There, and we would stop there, and I still remember the night I go in there and I see a big old back then it wasn't WWF, it was one of the premier wrestling
Yep.
Yeah.
semi-tractor trailer rigs in there and a couple of buses, and I go in and Ric Flair's eating breakfast. It's like 1 in the morning,
Nice.
and he just got into it with like Andre the Giant on TV the week before, and they're sitting there eating breakfast,
Yeah.
their arms around each other. I'm like, hey, I thought this stuff was real. What the
Yeah.
heck these guys
yeah.
doing?
Doing lying to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but good times. So, do you have a favorite track food? We're talking about food there. I used to go to Boone, Iowa. Man, they had those steak sandwiches.
But yeah.
Telling you what, I would eat those
and-
things like
West Liberty always had great food too.
they did.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
probably have to say the tenderloin at Farley or
Yeah.
West Liberty. When it was
Oh.
Simmons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When it was Simmons, man, they had the best tenderloins.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
they
still-
were great.
I'm still partial to a good old hot dog.
yeah, heck
You
yeah.
know?
A good hot
A
dog.
good hot dog, yeah.
I was talking to a guy that worked over there at Oscar Mayer, and he told me, he said, Shane, only eat beef hot dogs.
That's
He said,
all
they
I
got the
eat,
best
yeah.
meat in there. Get the beef ones. So I don't care if it's Nathan's hot dog or
Yep.
Oscar Mayer or whatever it is. If it's got beef in it,
Yep.
that's
It's
the ones
good.
I eat.
Yep.
We
they're
had
good.
had a pretty good one down at Donaldson.
Yeah,
on
they
Friday
were
night.
they were pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not bad at all.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing about it when you're on the road racing all the time. I mean, you got to get used to road food.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have the luxury of stopping in out at the factory in Orion and eating dinner that
Yeah,
night.
well,
or,
yeah, when we were doing it with the kids and the wife, and we were traveling quite a bit, we had a motorhome or a toterhome, and, we just, whatever we had, eat at home, we just took on the road with us, and
There you go.
Mom would hook us up.
Chris Whitmer says, tenderloins at West Liberty. Al Frieden that first had the good tenderloins.
Yep.
Hey, we do have a message up there, too, 563-528-1980. Give us a call. That's Kelly's cell phone. And he'll be happy to hook up with you somewhere and deliver your shirt to you too if you can't make it here to the studio, or maybe you only know where Village Inn's at on Harrison Street. We'll meet you down there and get your shirt to you. Also, Chris Whitmer talking about Farley, and Sherry Brenner talking about pasta salad and bratwurst.
That was one night after the races. We were having a little picnic party.
Yeah, okay. We had a few of those.
Yeah.
I think it might have been like a Memorial Day weekend, so everybody was off Monday, and so they got their hoopla on.
Yeah, well, and then the grill got spilt, and then Sherry stepped on the hot coals. And
we saved the hot dogs.
We did save the
that's
food.
All
that's all that mattered.
Right.
We
Feet
saved
burn
the
up,
food.
but man, that was one thing about Hawkeye Raceway when they were running there back in the day. Man, we used to stay out there till 2, 3 in the morning. And
Vern would leave us the keys and tell us to lock up when we were leaving.
yeah, he'd say lock up when you guys leave. And so that's what we did. We'd be out there, half the night.
Yeah.
And then let's see, Tim Crownover, my late father, loved the maid rights at Davenport. I think they had to call them race rights or something.
trademark.
But it was still a maid right.
Yeah, like Spoon River's got a Spoony Burger or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
it's like that.
It's a maid right. Like just call it a maid right. What it is.
Right. Dave Crownover up there. Hey, Shane, had a great time last week. Looking forward to the next time. Man, we ended up making a little trip up to by Chicago and Plano, Texas. That makes the tackle box, all that stuff. They got a factory up by Chicago, and they got a store up there that sells greatly discounted prices. Because I had this tackle box I give like $65 for. Up there in their outlet store, it was $18.
Holy smokes!
So if you guys are looking for tackle boxes, head up to Plano, man.
Unfortunately, racing, I don't get much time to fish anymore, but I'd still love to.
Yeah. My wife, she loves to camp, and so you got to keep peace in the family.
Oh, yeah.
We're out at Shady Lakes. They got like 3 lakes, so we'll go fishing out there. And Sam and I, a lot of times, we'll just go out in a boat in the middle of the lake, and we'll just, you can only have, your trolling motors out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we'll just sit there and fish and talk about, the good old days. And very peaceful out there because you guys know, man, it's high energy when you're at the racetrack.
Oh, it's going.
Full speed ahead. So if you could team up with any driver from back in the day, I mean, Casey, who would it be for you?
Well,
you got a partner. You're both going to be in TVMs.
Yeah.
Who would you pick to drive your other car?
I think some people will be surprised, but I would say Randy Wages.
No kidding.
No kidding. Yeah. We when I first started racing, we all know how Randy drove.
Yeah.
You
like to win.
Yeah. He drove down the side of me one night to win a feature, and so I went over to talk to him, and one of the best things I ever learned was, I told him, I'm like, look, Randy, I'm not going to be this slow forever.
Yeah. Right.
And he's like, drive me like I drive you.
That's exactly what he said.
That's exactly what he told me, and I remember that till this day.
Yeah.
And I did, actually.
Here, and so we know Randy had an accident, and he had severe head trauma.
Yep.
And so when I'm promoting East Moline in 2011, I'm out there. I mean, it's not, you don't show up race day, unlock the gate, and say, come in, racers, and give me your money. You're up there 7 days a week. You're prepping the track, you're receiving food for the concessions, receiving beer, you're just got everything going on. And I'd see this guy right up to the top of the track entrance on a bicycle. I looked up there and I thought, man, that guy looks familiar. And heck, he's been here all week. I go over there, it's Randy Wages.
Really?
Well, he was living down the street in a trailer court. And I said, hey, dude, I haven't seen you at many races this year. What's up? He said, man, I just don't, have the money like I used to. So I can't go to the races like I used to. So, man, I went down to the track office, gave him a season pass. Said, hey, hope to see you here every night. And you know who he sat with? My brother Sam.
Is that right?
Now, them guys, they were fist fighting.
Oh, yeah, I remember that night. Yeah.
Slugfest.
Yeah, it's Saturday at Bluegrass, Sunday at Moline.
Now they're sitting up there eating a hot dog and, having a good time. And it just goes to show that, even though you may not get along with the driver and they rough you up, I mean, hey, time heals all wounds. And there's still somebody that was down in the trenches with you, having a good time at the racetrack.
But on the other hand, if I wanted to run hard and not spend so much money on equipment, it'd be somebody like John Bull.
There you go. Man, that guy was clean.
Yeah.
So, Dustin, you got anybody from the old days that you'd like to have for a partner?
Probably the shoe.
Yeah.
Sandusky.
There you go.
You know, in his day, man, he
was a man.
And he was smooth.
You know, he had when he had Sunkiss for a sponsor in that
Yep.
late model, the number 1. They had all the orange Sunkiss pop you
yeah.
could drink after the races. And I mean, I went down the infield. We were all pitting in the infield at East Moline and Peoria back then.
Yep.
But I went down there to just get a free pop.
Yeah.
And he was, you know, he was a heck of a shoe. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why he's got the name of the shoe.
Yeah, he's smooth, man.
Just smooth as glass. And,
Oh.
and here he is now. You know, a lot of years went by, but still, you know, winning races.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
still he's
So,
putting
man.
he's putting another car together right now.
Oh,
So-
boy. How do you like that? What kind of cars is he putting together?
Razor.
Okay. All right. So I've asked you about your favorite racing memory. You both told me about your worst racing memory, which would be your crashes. But what do you like most about driving race cars? I mean, what is it about the thrill of being behind the wheel that?
Speed.
Yeah.
I don't know the speed. And I've
Okay.
always kind of had a thing of when somebody told you can't do something,
All right.
you go out and you prove that you can.
Okay.
And you know, we're beating a lot of these guys with a very, very limited budget.
I agree.
You know, we're not out dollared, but we're not spending and buying the latest and greatest thing that came out
Sure.
yesterday.
Sure.
You know.
Well, when you talk about a $5,000 motor in your late model,
Yeah.
that's a budget motor.
Yeah.
You know, because you guys got guys now. Not going to mention any names, but you got guys out there running, you know, $30,000, $40,000 IMCA spec motors. Now, remember 1996 is the first year they came out with a spec motor, and Hawkeye Raceway was first track to sign on board with that year. I was out there working for Vern, and you could literally back then, you know, you're running the 355 with a set of spec aluminum head, spec intake, but I'm going to say you could build a motor for under $4,000 back then.
Yeah.
So if you're able to buy a motor for, you know, $5,000 and get third opening night, that's low dollar racing in today's racing world.
Yeah. You got to be patient and wait for the right deals, which they don't come along all the time. But when you
Right.
do, you have to get them.
Well, I think a lot of these guys are just overpaying. They don't know what the real value is, or they wouldn't be
Yeah.
spending that kind of money. You got a restrictor on it anyway, so you're killing the horsepower. You don't need all them super high dollar parts. You know,
Yeah.
you need good stuff.
Yeah.
You got to have good stuff for
Gotta have good
reliability.
stuff.
But
You guys got lucky now. You know, with you getting along with Chuck Hanna, that guy's probably as honest as they come.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And another
Chuck's
clean
good.
driver.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's one of those clean drivers. Just brings it home alive every night. But if you buy a car from Chuck and he tells you, "Hey, this is a shock package I ran. These are the springs," you know he's telling you gospel truth.
Yeah, he gave me his setup sheets and everything for that
Yeah.
car.
I mean, is that crazy?
it's nuts.
Yeah.
And I'll call him and ask him a question, and he'd be like, "Yeah, he tells me." And
Do this.
yeah,
He was over at Davenport Speedway one night, and I got to tell you, I give it to that guy. Leading the feature, laps are winding down. Guy slides up off the bottom, runs over the front of the car, just destroys front of Chuck's car. And now, Casey, you and I back in the day,
yeah,
I'd say, okay, I'm junking the car. I'm going to junk my car
to
if
pay
he
you
wa-
back.
Yeah, to pay you back. And not Chuck. Man,
Yeah.
he just kind of held it all together, came out the next week, raced him clean, and brought the car home alive again. But, man, I remember, you know, one of the guys, I'll just say this, you know, Jack Luth.
The Blade.
Blade.
That
We
guy,
were just talking about him the other
Blade,
night.
yes.
you know, when he pulled into the racetrack and he had rebar welded on all four wheels, you knew he meant business.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like with us with the sport model, we always ran the sidebar on the outside.
Yeah.
You know, when you unroll a car with a sidebar on the outside of it and a dash full of
Showtime.
feature wind stickers,
Yeah.
boy, ain't playing around.
You ain't playing.
No,
Yeah.
we're here for one reason.
That's
and I
right.
will use that sidebar up.
Yeah. Justin Vello's talking about Tipton always has great food. They do have good
They
food
do.
up there, too. And, yeah, you know, Boone, Iowa, Sam and I went up there. I mean, we went to the very first Super Nationals. I think it was in 82. Back in the day, they used to travel around. So I'm going to say like 84, the Super Nationals were at West Liberty. 85,
Yeah.
it might have been Knoxville, Iowa. 86 was Mason City, Iowa.
Yep.
They'd move around every year before they found Boone. But, boy, when they got up there at Boone, they got some good food. I mean, my gosh. That Bob Lawton, who, you know, was the original promoter up there, and now I think that Brett Root and IMCA may be connected. Maybe I'm wrong. But
Well, they have to be. It's a cash cow. now.
it's a cash cow.
Oh, that's
great
It's
food, and I'm telling you.
insane to
Oh.
go up there.
I would go. Sam and I went up there every year. We'd park our campers, and I'll tell you, For years, I was like the second row from the bleachers. You know, we'd been going that many years, so we always got the same spot. And man, you know, $20 to get in the pits for a lot of years. I'm going up through 2000, maybe 12, and you got to see racing from 3 in the afternoon till 1 in the morning for $20.
I remember one year we went up there. I was in like the 31st heat race, and I went out at like 1:30 in the morning.
Hey, we're looking up there right now. Jason Bear talking about got to have a motor, but proving you can have a cheap motor. Car has to have set up for the racetrack. CJ is where he's talking about, Columbus Junction. $15,000 motor won it, but we started 18th and finished 11th with a $400 motor. Just goes to show the possibilities. Now that's a guy I'm going to respect.
Yeah, you got to spend money. You got to have good stuff.
Yeah,
you're not going to go out there with a stock 350 nowadays.
Yeah.
With an RV cam.
No,
you know what I mean. You're not going to do that. The days are long gone.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was talking to you earlier, Casey, I still got a 327 out in my garage.
Well, we talked about we got this engine we have in the car now. We just got a hell of a deal on it. It's just one of them things that came along, and we happen to be ready. But now, on the other hand, I have another engine sitting at the house that I haven't even put together yet. That's probably twice that.
Oh boy!
You see what I'm saying?
We got more money in machine work than that. Machine work and
head
work.
Then we paid for
But what do you do?
What do you do? I mean, you got a heck of a deal.
That's all it really.
You got a deal. Right place, right time.
We got a deal. I've lost out on a lot of stuff. Because I didn't have the money.
Just like Chuck Hanna's car. That was. I mean, where do you get a car that it's won a lot locally? It's top 5 car every night, and Chuck Hanna, the maintenance program from Chuck Hanna.
Yeah,
that thing is just pristine.
Yeah, well, that and I got a ton of spares with that car.
Sure.
A ton. 2 radiators. I think 6 lowers, 6 spindles.
Yeah.
4 uppers.
Oh yeah.
A box of springs. I ended up getting his spec carburetor from him when he was running the spec motor stuff.
Sure.
I got a ton of stuff from him.
Wookie, let's see picture number 19. So we're going to look at things are winding down. We've already been on the air for an hour. It flies by. There you are at Davenport Speedway. Now, on the half mile, they added that new black and white fencing all the way around. But when you see it in the speed shots, I mean, it looks like that fence, is right behind
it does,
the car. But your car looked beautiful against that fence, and I got to say, opening what would have been one of the Wednesday practice sessions.
Yep, it was a Wednesday practice.
Yeah.
Man, you look like a bullet out there. I thought this kid's got it all figured out. And then you played with it opening night.
Yeah, that was a terrible idea.
Yeah, all right.
I learned my lesson.
Can you blame your mom for that?
No, I can only blame me because it's my call when I say let's do it.
Oh yeah.
It's on me.
And Justin Velos said he's got one of them cheap Mexican motors.
They're not that cheap.
Yeah, they've got the resource down there in Mexico.
Yeah,
so
they're still not
Justin's
that
got
cheap.
it made. Yeah. Well, hey, guys, it's about time to wrap this thing up. Like I said, the hour flies by. Any closing words, Dustin, to your fans out there and, the people that are listening tonight?
Yeah, I got a ton of people to thank. My mom and dad. Tony Hahn's been a big help this year.
Oh, yeah.
Brad Sterling,
sure.
Brack Floyd, which was Dad's buddy and crew chief for years. He helped us for years go racing, and the list is huge.
Yeah,
I got pretty good sponsors this year. I got KCM Construction, OTR Tire out of Clinton.
Yeah,
I got American Family Insurance, Jared Bennett. Who else am I missing?
All
somebody
good
in
people.
there. I'm missing somebody in there, and I can't even remember. J&J stepped on board this year.
Good.
Which was nice. And then I got the Chicken Shack, Don Seafood.
Hey, all right, man.
And, and Sampico Oil has been a huge help, too,
Sure.
Which is Doug Burkhead. He hooks that deal up with for me.
Okay.
So,
man, that guy's been around forever, too, and he was an old TVM driver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's still got one. He's got the car we won a lot of races with.
Now, does he, here we are wrapping the show up, but Doug, does he still run Ford motors?
He actually bought our old Sport Mod motor here a little while back.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Casey, any closing words from you?
I did. Thank all the fans. Try to attend as many races as you can. That keeps everything going for everybody.
Yeah.
come down into the pits afterwards and say hi. You know, and
Now, Davenport Speedway Friday night. You going to be over there, Dustin?
Yep.
Okay.
We're actually trying to chase the Rookie of the Year deal.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're gonna try.
Good.
So
I'd
We
like
got,
to give a shout out
yeah,
to
go ahead.
Piper's Engine
Yeah.
Specialist.
Heck
They
yeah.
do all our machine work, and they do a great job for us.
Man, that's great. I guess one of the makeup features we're going to run this week from opening night will be the 1000 Win Open Wheel Modified Show. If you haven't been over at Davenport Speedway, head on over. Great track. The Fair Board does a wonderful job. Sean Loader, pristine facility. There's upgrades every year, and I know some of the upgrades that are going to be happening, within the next year. I can't let the cat out of the bag yet,
Right.
but you guys as racers and fans, you're going to love them, and they're just going to continue to kind of set the gold standard for speedways. So we'd love to have you over at Davenport Speedway Friday night. No racing action this Saturday at West Liberty Raceway, but you can get online and check out when their next race is going to be. A couple of weeks. It'll be the end of the month up there at Liberty, and then Sunday night we got the bull ring every night.
Oh yeah.
Every Sunday up there at East Moline Speedway. Jeff Peterson doing a nice job up there, and we'd love to have you up there. But at the end of the day, support local racing.
Absolutely.
We love seeing you at the racetrack. So that'll about do it for tonight's show. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, we do this every Monday night, 7 to 8 o'clock. Make sure and tell a friend, tell a neighbor, and we'd love to have you listening every week here on the True Grit Podcast. This is your host, Shane Davis, saying God bless all you great fans out there, and I'll be seeing you around the track. Good night.